Hey loves, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I have a Neville Goddard idea for you, and I'm going to connect it to manifesting a specific person because Neville Goddard doesn't really too much talk about manifesting a specific person. But as with everything, manifesting the smallest thing is the same as manifesting the largest thing. And many of us assume, again, me included in the past, that manifesting a specific person was something crazy hard that had to take a lot of time and effort to do. But truly, it can be as easy as we make it. But the quote from Neville Goddard I wanted to go over today and then relate and show how it actually really has a huge impact with manifesting a specific person is he mentioned only manifest for others what you would manifest for yourself. And on the surface, you might be like, well, what does that mean? What does that have to do with manifestation? Of course, do unto others what you would do to yourself. That's like everybody is you pushed out, right? But it has a really, really large impact that goes a lot deeper than that and can actually help you manifest very, very quickly. So let's break that quote down a little more. So think only manifest others what you would want for yourself. So if we are desiring someone to absolutely fall in love with us and live the perfect life with all the kids, then if we want that for them, we must then technically also want that for ourselves. So in that case, if we don't love ourselves in the way we want our specific person to love us, and we kind of deny that aspect of our self-concept, how could we expect our specific person to love us in ways, again, we don't feel internally? Because as we know, everything in your reality is a reflection of your internal state. So how could we then, in our external reality, get this magnificent love if internally, focusing towards ourselves, we don't even have that, again, focused at ourselves? Everyone is you pushed out and is only fulfilling the roles that we are feeling and assuming internally. So again, if we don't feel that for ourselves, how could our specific person ever feel that? And that is why you've heard me talk about a lot on this channel that manifestation really is rooted in your self-concept, and that's almost in the belief that it could happen. I almost kind of connect both of those together. Because if you're super confident in yourself, knowing that you're the power in this reality and you can do everything, that confidence is going to radiate everywhere, and you're going to see every single action you take works 100% of the time. And your manifestation at that point comes super easy and effortless because, again, that's your assumption, and so it's got to reflect external to you. And you've definitely heard me mention that your self-concept, I would say, is the foundation of which your entire manifestation is built off of. Because let's actually try and think through this logical process of law of assumption in the way that we normally try to do that. So again, most of the time we think, as soon as I get my specific person, I'm going to change, or once they start showing me love, then I'll start feeling it. But in law of assumption, it states what you assume to be and feel first is that reflection. So if you are waiting for your specific person to love you and care for you and give you all of those positive, committed feelings, and you're expecting, again, them to do it first, then we're never going to achieve that or see it external to us because our internal state is still coming from an idea of being single or not loved or desiring love and not having it. And all these assumptions are done automatically. We don't have to think about it. Again, think if you're manifesting a specific person right now, think of actually how you feel when it comes to them. Do you believe that they would love you more than you love yourself? And I know it may take some time to really, really think about that, but if it's true and you can't get something external to you that did not come internally first, how are we expecting to get that love or get that feeling? We have to come into that feeling first and foremost. And that is why I absolutely love manifestation and law of assumption. Because to boil it down to its basics, not only do you get anything that you want, you get to feel loved, abundant, and positive the whole time. I know sometimes it's not completely 100% easy to get into this feeling 100% of the time. But it truly is meant that way because our assumptions are hardening into fact outside of us. Right now then I want you to ask yourself, how can I give myself right now at this current moment the love, self-love, commitment, and positivity and abundance that I would get had I already been in a relationship with my specific person right now? And it could potentially look different for each and every person, right? To feel loved, to feel committed, is different. And if you actually wanted some inspiration on this, and this is an idea I like to use in all my coaching sessions, if you were to write at this current moment, I feel loved when blank, or I feel cared for when blank, I feel committed to when blank, and then you fill in the blanks of those with a bunch of ideas of just think of what it feels like to be loved, and then just write those things down. I'm surrounded by people I love. I feel wholesome internally. Like, again, I'm throwing not the greatest ideas out, but if you meditate on that, you're going to find what your formula for being loved, cared for, and committed to is, and then you can begin utilizing and creating that right now at this current moment. And that feeling is then going to push you into that end state, and then you're going to see changes happening in your external reality that you could never have even dreamed of. Because I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but the feeling always comes first. And think of the way the Neville Goddard would talk about the poverty-stricken person attempting to become wealthy. They're going to be conscious of being poor no matter what. It's going to be carried with them automatically. Until they get into the feeling and state of being wealthy, they're going to continuously reiterate that. The more even that they just desire or want to be that, but don't feel that, the more they just reiterate where they're currently at. And that's going to be the same thing when it comes to the manifestation of our specific person. We can desire, we can want, we can hope as much as we can for our specific person. But until we get into that feeling, we are going to see that hope and desire create kind of a desperate state where we're just continuously on a treadmill trying to get them over and over again, and feel like time just keeps moving on and we don't change. But if you think about what's happening in your external reality and see if that actually matches your internal state, you're going to see that there's no discrepancy. If you look internally, they're like, okay, do I truly feel as if I'm with my specific person? You'd be like, well, sometimes, but not always. And I made a whole video on how frequency, so the amount of times you get into the state, is more important than time. And if you wanted, I would definitely go check that out to really get into that state and then see yourself in that wish fulfilled much sooner right now, and then see the reflection. But it's always against the grain of that concept. Our logic thinks once I get something, I'll feel it, but we want to flip that entirely. Always focus on your internal state first and foremost, even if it feels like you're neglecting things outside of you. Because again, if you don't love yourself in the way you want your specific person to love you, and everything outside of you is a reflection of your internal state, how are we then expecting them to have or assume a state that we don't feel internally? But I want you to try this out and let me know how it goes. And you're going to feel so much better during the process, and you're going to get so much more results. If you did have any questions on this today, leave it in the comments section below. Remember, as always, you can reach out to me on my website for one-on-one coaching, or if you wanted to send me a personal message at kyleaugustcoaching.com. Make sure to leave a thumbs up on this video, and then also don't forget to subscribe. But thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.